Hello, and welcome to Intoxikated. I'm your host, Kait. Today's episode will be sponsored by a red blend. We're drinking wine, so don't forget, you also need to have water nearby. Don't be a dumb bitch. Today's historical figure that we will be discussing is Cleopatra. Cleopatra was born of incest. Our story begins in Alexandria, Egypt. That was the capital of Egypt at the time. It was right off of the Nile so that ports could come in. During this time of ancient Egypt, we were in a time of the Ptolemy people. The Ptolemy people came from northern Greece, so Cleopatra was Greek descendant. The Ptolemy people had ruled Egypt for 300 years, and Cleopatra was the last ruler of Egypt before the Roman Empire took control of Egypt. And a lot of people blame Cleopatra for this. So let's delve in, see what we can find. Cleo was 17 in 51 BC, and she was named co-ruler with her father. In Egypt and in most royal families you can delve through, you had to have co-rulers. There had to be a male and a female counterpart. She was the female counterpart. Her father was the male counterpart. A year into her being the queen first, her father passes away. When he passed away, he wrote into the will she is to marry Ptolemy the VIII, which was her brother. What? She had to marry her 11-year-old brother because she had to roll with a man. Cleo had a problem with that. She didn't like that shit. She was like, I'm smart as fuck. I can do this job. But to back it up, because the incest happens a lot, but it happens a lot throughout, all monarchies, I guess you could say, to keep the bloodline pure. Keep it pure. Keep it pure. Keeping it pure. It was to keep the royal blood consistent. So it wasn't like she was like, I'm not marrying my brother. No. She was like, yeah, I'll marry Ptolemy. That's fine. Ruling with him, he was 11. Like I said, she was 18 at this time. There's significant history that backs up. During Cleopatra's ruling overall, she had 22 years of surplus in the country. She was doing a great job. During her first year of reign, there was a terrible famine that was happening in Egypt, and she fed her people. She gave them the resources that they need. She gave them the food that they needed. They depended on her. She was very, very smart. She had the best education in the world. But as a Egyptian royal, you can't really expect anything less. She was fluent in 8 to 9 languages. She was the first of the Ptolemy people. Like I said, the Ptolemy people ruled Egypt now for over 300 years. She was the first pharaoh to actually speak Egyptian of the Ptolemy people because their main language was Koine Greek. So she was fluent in that, but she actually delved in and was very interested in the religion and the language of Egypt. So the people respected her more because she was reaching out to that point of view. She spoke Roman, she spoke 3 different kinds of Greek language. I don't think she spoke English. I do not believe that at all. The thing that a lot of people talk about is the beauty of Cleopatra. She was so beautiful, and it's portrayed, Elizabeth Taylor, it's portrayed that she was a very beautiful woman of her time. She was not remarkably beautiful. She was not known for her beauty. She was actually just very common looking. But I would assume that, because of the incest. But she was very intelligent and she had sex appeal. She knew how to fuck, dude. She knew how to fuck. She knew how to get her shit done. She had a sister, Ardawen. Ardawen? I think it's, I can't pronounce it. Ardawen. She was 11 at the time, so she's younger, just like the brother. And she came to the brother and said, dude, we cannot pair up with Julius Caesar. We can't do this. this and that. So they kicked Cleopatra out. They like literally were like, Ardewayan, her sister, came, took the crown, was then the queen. Cleopatra was dethroned at that point and exiled. But during that time, Julius Caesar had just arrived in Alexandria, the capital of Egypt, where they were ruling. So she's going, this is my time. I know what I'm gonna do. She starts having an affair with Caesar, and then her and Caesar start working out this plan to get her back on the throne. Caesar helps her. They get the brother Ptolemy. Ptolemy's begging for his life. He eventually runs off and he's in battle and he drowns in the Nile. That's how he dies. 10 years later, the sister, she ran off. She was like scared. She went to become a priestess and she was living in Greece. 10 years later, Cleopatra took out a hit on her. And she's like, no, bitch, you think I forgot about that shit? I didn't. While she's fucking Julius Caesar, she also starts having rendezvous with Mark Antony. Mark Antony was a hot young stud. He was like in his 30s compared to old ass saggy ball Caesar. She was like, dude, Mark Antony can get it. She actually ended up having 3 children with Mark Antony. While continuing like this love affair with Julius Caesar. She was also known for her extensive parties. Cleopatra threw hella fucking ragers. Cleo, she was a bad bitch. She loved to party. She loved to fuck, dude. She was fucking. After she meets Mark Antony and, then her brother, her first co-ruler, after he drowned in the Nile River, she thought, sweet, I'm gonna rule this bitch by myself. Wrong. She then had to marry her 9-year-old brother because, again, you cannot just rule on your own, which I'm like, why? I think Mark Antony is dead now. That's what it was. That was the crisis, man. Her lover, Mark Antony, dies and she kills herself. In historical texts, she kills herself. Now, this is where it gets a little hazy for like mystery standpoints, is that everybody knows that, I don't know, like people always say like she took a snake. She took this fucking snake and she and it bit her and then she died. Like straight out of like holes, like keep digging, trout. That's probably not what happened because the snake that she had chose that was venomous. Because she was very good with her chemistry and her math and science and philosophies and everything, she kind of pulled like a Romeo and Juliet. He died, she can't live anymore without him, even though she's got 3 kids. So the statues and busts and paintings that we now have of Cleopatra were made in the Renaissance period and the medieval times of Europe. So nobody actually knew what she looked like. But according to texts, she was not remarkably beautiful. She was just a very intelligent woman who knew how to command an army, who was fucking. She fucked. And once you fucked Cleopatra, you did not forget that ass, dude. She had the original WAP, dude. WAP. She had it, she did it, and she ruled Egypt. And there you have it. That's a little brief history on your girl, Cleopatra. Now, walk like an Egyptian, over to the sink, get yourself some water, and stay tuned for the next Intoxikated. Thanks, guys.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.